Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew, and today we're talking about another nostalgic favorite of mine that I'm sure is one of yours too. And that's because today we're taking a look at something from the X-Men the Animated Series world, and talk about some great timing right now because X-Men 97 Season 1 is just finishing up right now on Disney+. It has been an amazing journey. We'll save the discussion for that for another time, I think. But today we're going to talk about one of my favorite characters and one of my favorite statue lines right now. And that would, of course, be Diamond Select's X-Men the Animated Series resin busts. These busts have been awesome. We've been enjoying them now for I feel like 2 or 3 years maybe, and we've had, a few ups and downs, but for the most part, we're seeing mostly ups. I really haven't had a lot of bad things to say about this. It's been particularly positive in the last few ones especially. So yeah, I'm very excited to see Psylocke here because as regular viewers of my channel know, I'm a big Psylocke fan. I dig her look, I dig her powers, and granted, I grew up with the Jim Lee era of Psylocke. I wasn't quite there for the early Betsy Braddock days when she had a really weird costume. I'm there for the Jim Lee look, this look in particular, and yeah, I think this is just the most badass version of Psylocke out there. And if you're reading the current comics, by the way, you would have really enjoyed her during the Krakoa age, where she led the team of Hellions in one of the really great miniseries that arose during this current period of comics that's just about to wrap up. Again, another discussion for a different day here, but we're talking about Psylocke, we're talking about this resin bust here. I cannot wait to show you guys how this thing looks. So let's go ahead first, talk about this box here. And the box is identical to all the other boxes that we've seen in this X-Men the Animated Series lineup. I feel like there is a little bit of a difference here because I think in the past the box has been mostly black. This time around we do have an image of the statue, but there's a little bit of a kind of like blue gradient burst of color coming out from behind her. And I don't recall if I've seen that in previous statues or not. If it's new, that's great. I hope they keep it up. If it's old and I just didn't notice it before, or maybe I'm just not remembering it, I don't care. It just looks really nice. And it pops as well with the X-Men logo in there and the Psylocke name on the bottom, so just a really good looking box already. And as far as the side, on one side we have a nice image of the statue again, same image we've already seen on the front of the packaging. And on the other side, we have one of my favorite bits with these statues, and that's this really great look at all the characters, or not all, but a bunch of the characters in their animated series version looks. We've got Cyclops, we got Jean Grey, we got Gambit. It just looks really nice and also very 90s. The back of the box features, again, another image of the statue itself, that similar burst of color, as well as, well, no bio here, because they don't put bios in the resin pieces, but we do get some information about this piece that's kind of important. And that would be that this is a limited edition statue here, and it's limited to only 3,000 pieces, and each one of these includes a numbered certificate of authenticity, and that number, by the way, is also on the base of the statue. But most importantly, it lets us know who made this piece. And this was designed by Barry Bradfield and sculpted by Michelle Riley. Now that is a new name for the X-Men animated series, so Barry Bradfield has been designing all these, but Michelle is, I guess, I feel like this is her first time doing one of these statues, so very excited to see how her work is going to look and how it's going to translate into three-dimensional form. So stay tuned, stick around. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get our Psylocke out of the box and take a closer look at her from all angles. And here is our Psylocke now out of the box, looking amazing. Man, I'm already really into this piece here, and that is a great thing because a lot of the previous Psylocke pieces I've looked at on this channel usually kind of left me leaving a little bit more. But I'm very happy with this piece here so far, but we're not quite done yet because, well, she's missing 2 things here, and these 2 things are packed separately, so let's get them on. And one of those would be her psionic hand dagger thingy. There we go. We got that part in there as well. And, I'll do another little quick rotation just to get her around to show you the other piece here. But we have this. This is part of her sash. This is also packaged separately from the rest of the figure. And that's to make sure it doesn't break because this is definitely a very fragile piece. Likewise, so is this very pointy psionic dagger. So once she gets all the way around, we'll go ahead and we'll pop this into her backside, wherever it's going to go. It's either her back or her side. Let's see. Actually, it looks like it's right on her side. And these pieces are magnetic, so yeah, they should just pop right in just like that. So that's super easy. So let's go ahead and keep rotating her around. Let's actually bring her the other way so you can see the whole shebang a lot faster. But there we go. So those 2 pieces packaged separately for your own safety, your own protection. And now that she is complete, I kind of can't wait to see as she rotates around. But oh man, yeah, this is probably one of the best Psylocks I got in my collection. So previously we did look at a PVC diorama piece, which I liked, but it wasn't really great, And we had looked at an action figure of Psylocke from some years ago that Diamond did, and I really liked that a lot. But this piece here is based on her from the animated series, and mind you, again, as we said, she's really only in that for like, what, 10, 15 seconds, maybe? It's a very short, quick cameo, but hey, that's cool that they're doing her in statue form because it worked out really well. It's actually a really great looking piece so far. So yeah, let's go ahead now and start spending some time on more of the finer details about this piece, and that's going to start bringing us over to the likeness and the head. So let's discuss and let's determine whether or not this Psylocke looks like Psylocke or, well, someone else. And in order for us to do that, we got to spend some time getting up close and personal with Betsy Braddock over here. So, you know, as far as the cartoon goes, she was only there for such a short amount of time. I'm not going to really pick too much about whether or not she looks like she did in the cartoon, because the statue, it's probably, you know, close enough, but her screen time is so minimal, so whatever. But as far as like what I'm looking for in terms of this piece here, I think it's hitting all the marks. So we've got a really nice looking face on her. And one thing that I do appreciate here also with Psylocke, and this is something we've talked about in previous videos as well, previous reviews of the series, is a lot of times with the females, they have a lot of thick black marks on the character. And that's part of getting this whole, you know, animated look, which you can see in her collar over here, her collarbone, and her chest, and her everywhere else really. But yeah, this time around, Psylocke doesn't really have that. Psylocke actually kind of just lets her nose do the work, her cheeks and everything. Like, there's nothing sculpted in there. There's no like black outlines around her nose or anything to kind of accentuate it more. And that's actually really great. You know, that's something Andrea talked about a lot with her previous videos of like Rogue and Storm and Jubilee, was how kind of distracting it could be. And now really seeing a statue without it, I feel like I should take back a lot of my comments. I mean, again, I still get it and I understand why they did it, but it definitely works really well, and Psylocke is a great example of that. So I hope that this is kind of the trend for more of these statues, or at the very least for the women, because they could really use it. They could kind of use the help to just not look like their faces are covered in Sharpie markers. So that's great. The eyes, you know, this is a 90s cartoon, so they weren't really great at drawing Asian women, basically, because Psylocke is Asian here. So the eyes kind of tell you that. They kind of don't. They're kind of just like that little safe space where you can't really decide what this person actually is. But they're at least nice looking, I guess. And as far as the expression on her face, it's not bad, because a lot of times in the past we've seen faces like this with Psylocke, and they're not really quite as good. I mean, this one here, she looks like she's in battle. It's still a very kind of attractive pose. She's not like grunting too much. It just clearly is her kind of taking command of a situation. So overall, I really dig this. But the one thing I really dig is that purple hair. I mean, look at how nice this hair looks. It might be looking a little bit red right now just because I do have a red light off to the side here to kind of highlight the statue a little bit better. But still, there's just a lot of great body to this hair, a lot of really nice sculpting to it, volume, and just looks really nice. You know, like look at how far that goes too. It's just long, very nicely done. Overall, really like this hair a lot. This is, yeah, just really good. And you know, I know I'm spending a lot of time on the head here, but that's because really it's one of the most important parts that a lot of Psylocke statues seem to just get wrong so frequently. So let's just move on now and start talking about the body of Psylocke here. And again, this is like her 90s Jim Lee designed outfit, which everybody loves, and I think we know why. But it looks amazing here in this statue form. And we have, again, the animated look of the piece here with a lot of the black marks painted into it, as well as some different parts of her bluer outfit there. See that in the arms as well. So yeah, this is great. I mean, there is some sculpted design here, believe it or not. There actually is. It's like under the chest for some reason. I don't want to point too much to it, but there actually is like a little bumpy part. I don't really know how to put it, but it's like some kind of indentation that's underneath the chest. This is a very little tiny part there. Don't know why, but it exists. But otherwise, I mean, you know, we do have a little bit of ab definition here that is sculpted into the piece, which might be a little bit hard to see. Now you can see it better. There actually is some, you know, legitimate sculpting here in addition to the animated paint look that helps really kind of make her pop and stand out. The belt also has multicolors on it, and we've got the, again, those black marks I was talking about that aren't in the face. They're a lot more prevalent in the body because that's kind of like what they did with the characters in that series. So we're getting more of that here. Even the belt, the sash has a little bit of that going on there too. And as we turn around, we'll see what's going on with the back. So again, you're still getting some muscle definition and sculpting, but also still getting that same kind of black cell shade look. As far as the posture of this character here, I mean, this is definitely like a Rob Liefeld drawing. I mean, she, you know, I don't know really what to say about that. I'm going to let you guys at home decide. But yeah, this definitely it reeks a little bit of Liefeld for some reason. And mind you, this was a Jim Lee character design here, right? But whatever. We're gonna save that discussion for a different video. Going back to the collarbone too, you can see what I was talking about earlier with just the design in there. I also really like the arms, by the way, because the arms have that, again, just really cool Jim Lee outfit. Like, props to Jim Lee, really, for because I'm pretty positive he's the one who designed that look for her. But we've got just really nice armbands on her, bicep bands. Very cool, just all around. Same with the other arm as well. I'll give you guys a better look at the psionic dagger too. Just what a cool piece, you know, overall, just what a cool looking piece, top to bottom. Really no complaints here from me whatsoever. Just, man, this is really what I've been hoping to get for the longest time, and I'm happy I got it now, and it's in this animated style. Now let's spend some time talking about the base, and we're really not going to spend much time at all on this because the base is identical to every other one we've gotten in this X-Men the Animated Series lineup. It's kind of this like danger room looking design, maybe that's what I'm going to call it from now on. In the past I've called it a hockey puck, but yeah, it's just this kind of cylinder with a sort of neutral gray, neutral purple look in there, and some black as well, which really just tends to tie the piece together. It's a nice neutral bland color, so it doesn't really make it stand out that much. And it's, again, solid across the line. Everybody shares the same look as far as base goes, and so does Psylocke. So no complaints, it does the job. I don't mind it. That's kind of what matters when you talk about a bust. So as far as Psylocke herself goes, I mean, yeah, this piece right here is a knockout. This is one of my favorites, I would say, in this X-Men the Animated Series lineup, and that's saying a lot because we've looked at a lot of really great ones, you know. And you know, as far as the female characters go, I mean, I want to say Storm is probably up there really high on my list, but Psylocke might just take the cake. You know, I think a lot of things that we've complained about in past videos are not present here. We've got great sculpting. We have this really nice addition of the psionic blade and the sash as well, which look really cool. It adds some energy to the piece, which you don't necessarily always get with a lot of these pieces. Great paint job as well, and no slop, by the way. You didn't hear me mention that at all about any, like, you know, paint going in weird spots. That's because it's not really happening here. So just overall, cleanly executed piece, solid all around. Yeah, definite favorite of mine here. So if you want to pick up this Psylocke for yourself, we're going to have some affiliate links in the description of this video below. If you click on any of those, it helps this YouTube channel at no extra cost to you. So that's our look at the X-Men Animated Series Psylocke resin bust from Diamond Select. Thanks for watching. I'm Matthew, and this has been Nerd News Today. We'll see you guys here next time with more statue reviews, action figure reviews, and everything else we do here on the channel.